Hello everyone and welcome back to our part 2 of our CSS series. Today we are going deeper into a styling by learning all about the colors and the CSS units and the powerful box model that controls the layout of our spacing in CSS. So let's get started to our video. So first we will see the colors in CSS. In CSS, we can define a colors in multiple ways, like a hexa means hexadecimal and RGB means red, green, blue, and RGBA means the red, green, blue, and alpha channel. Each has its own use, and today I will show you how they work and when to use each format. So here you can see the hex, it has the hexadecimal code with it, and RGBA it gives the values from 0 to 25 for each color. And in RGBA we using the alpha channel we can give the opacity to that element or any color. Hex codes are the 6-digit combination of numbers and letters starting with the hash and used to represent the colors in CSS. Now I will show you the example on this. I have already created the index.html file, and in that I have given the link for our style.css file. Here you can see the link tag, and in the body section I have already given one heading as a welcome to your Codex Mitra. Now let's here create one button using the button tag, and here I will give the text inside this as a subscribe. Now let's save this. First I will, here you can see in the folder named Codex Mitra. Inside that I have my index.html file. I will open this. Here you can see this is our heading, and this is our button. Now go to the CSS file, and here first I will give the ID to this button as subscribe, and now save this. Using the element or the ID selector, I will select the ID as a subscribe, and inside this I will give the color to that text using the hex code, that is combination of letters and numbers. Here we have to use the hash symbol. Here I will give the color as FF000. Here you can see the first two digits are represent the red color, and the next two digit represent the green color, and the last two digit represent the blue color. So here you can see the first two digit or the code are FF. Now I will change this, and at the second place I will give the FF. Here you can see it is now green color. Now let's give the, here you can see last one is a represent used to represent the blue color, and here you can see our color is blue. Now let's give another CSS property as a background color, and first here I will change this to red color, and after that here no need to remember the each hexadecimal code. You can give any color. Here you can see I'm giving any color. Now click on this and the CSS it gives you the color picker option. Now select any color. Here you can see, and according to that color the hexadecimal code is changing. Here you can see. Now I will save this and refresh the browser. Here you can see the color is in red color, and the background color is this, like some baby pink. Or now let's give the background color as red, and this color as white. So if Now save this file and refresh the browser. Here you can see now the text is in white color and the background color is red. Here you can see in our browser the subscribe button has some border associated with it. Now if you want to remove that border, then give the property called border colon none. Here you can see. Now save this file and refresh the browser. Here you can see now the border is gone. This button looking so small, so now give the height and width. Now I will give as 100 pixel and the width as 160 pixel. Now you might thought what is this px means. This is the pixel means to measure the screen or the video player. Here everywhere uses the pixel to measure the pixel is a common unit in the CSS used to define the size like width, height and margin, padding, font size, etc. A pixel or a px is the most basic unit of measurement in CSS. It represents a single dot on your screen and it stays the same size no matter how the screen resolution. Pixels give you the very precise control, but they don't scale well on different devices. So we often use the other unit like em, rem or percentage. Now here you can see here we have our units as well. Now let's move to our next color format, that is RGB. First execute this. Here you can see now the height and width of this is different, so let's give some small. Now here I will give the width as 100. Now refresh it. Now here you can see there our edges of this button is corner. Now to give the corners first, here I will give the border radius and here I will give that as a 10%. Now save this and refresh. Here you can see now our corners, some curves are there in our buttons. Now let's create another button to show you the RGB color format. It is the RGB means the red, green, blue colors. RGB stands for red, green and blue. It lets you mix these three colors by specifying the values from 0 to 255. Now in RGBA, if I give the color as 255, 0, then 255 is at the first place. If I give the 255, then it gives a total plain red color, and it has the combination of a 0 green and a 0 blue, means the no mixture of green and blue, only the red color is shown to the browser. Now let's go to the HTML file and inside the body section I will create another button, and here I will give the text as watch now. Now save this and go to the browser and refresh. Here you can see now after this subscribe button, the watch now button is displaying. Now to come to next line, give the break. Now here you can see our button means the watch now button is moves to down. Now next I will give some colors using the RGB format color. First here I will give the ID as watch. Now let's go to the style.css, and here I have given the ID, so I will use the hash symbol and the ID name as a watch. Now here I will give the color to the text is white. Here all these codes means the any RGBA color or any hexadecimal color code, no need to remember. Simply go to the Google and search for color picker. Here you can see, and hit enter. Here you will see the color picker option in your Google page. Now you can copy the hexadecimal code, here you can see, or any RGB format. Now I want the RGB color, so I will copy this. Now I will go to my style.css file, and here I will give the RGB, and inside the parenthesis I will give this color. Now end with a semicolon. So I want the white color for my text, so I will select these. Now here I will paste this. After that I want a background color, and I will select the background color as I want a blue color. So I will copy this, and here I will use the RGB format, and inside this I will paste this. Now go to the browser and refresh our page. Here you can see, now we have the button called watch now, and the text color is white, and the background color is in blue color. Now let's remove that border. For that we have to use a property called border none. Now save this file and refresh the browser. Now here I will give the height and width. Here for this I will give the height as 40 pixel, and width I will give as 80 pixel. Now save this and refresh. Here you can see, now yeah, the button has its height and width. Now let's curve the corner of the button. For that we have the property called border radius, and if here I will give the 50%, then it will totally round in shape. Here you can see, if I have given the height and width of that button same, then it is totally round in shape. Here I have given the height as 80 pixel and width as 80 pixel. Now here you can see the total round in shape button we have. So for now we don't want this, so here I will give the border radius as 20%. Now save and refresh. Here you have our watch now button. If you want the border, then you can give the border color as well. So our next color format is RGBA, means the red, green, blue and alpha. RGBA is just like RGB, means the red, green, blue, but it adds an extra value called alpha channel for transparency. The alpha value ranges from 0, means the completely transparent, to a 1, means the fully opaque. Now let's RGBA has the same value as RGB, means it ranges from 0 to 255, and opacity from 0 to 1. Now let's create another button for this. Now go to the HTML file and create a button, and I will give the value to this is submit, and here I will give the ID as submit only. Now save this. So using the ID selector, I will select this button, and here I will give the color and color using the RGBA format. Next, the background color. So let's go to the Google and search for the RGBA color picker and click on the first link. Here you can see, here you have the RGBA, means the red color, green color, blue color, and the alpha. Now here you can see it has already selected the pink color. If I will overcome or reduce the opacity, means the alpha, then here you can see it is going to transparent, and when it comes to the 0, it is totally transparent. And when I'm increasing the alpha, then till 1, then it is totally opaque. Now for our button, means the submit button, I want the greenish color. To create a green color, I want to hide this only green color, so I will reduce the both the colors and only increase the green color. So this is color I want. So this is color I want for the background color to my button. So here you can see the, now copy this code as first 0, 141, 0, the opacity here I will give the same only. Save this and refresh the browser. Here you can see the submit button. To comes to next line, here I will give the break. Now save this, and here you can see now we have the submit button at the bottom. Now remove that border, use the property border null, and give the height and width. As height as 30 pixel and width I will give as 60 pixel. Now save this and refresh. Here you can see now reduce this corners to curve. For that, use the border radius property. And refresh. Here you have. Next, I want to change the color of the button. So go to the RGB color picker and move this to high color, means the red color as a 255, green as 255, and blue as 255. Now reduce the opacity as well, no need. So here I will give the red, green, and blue, and opacity as 0. Now save this and refresh the browser. Okay, here you can see I have removed this opacity, and now you have the text on this button is in white color and the background color is in green color. So let's change the opacity here. Here I will give the opacity as 30, means 0.30. Now save this file and refresh the browser. Here you can see the green color is now opacity is reduced by some amount. Now I will give the opacity as 1, means the high. Now save this. Here you can see the totally bright green color is appearing on our screen. Box model in CSS. Every element is a box, and the content, padding, and border it has, means in CSS every HTML element is treated like a box, and the box model help us to understand how the spacing and layout work around the element. So the structure of the box model is in the content means the actual text or the image. Next, the padding means the space around the content and it is inside the border. Next, we have the border means the edge around the padding, and the last one is the margin. It means the space outside the border to separate the each element to each other. Now let's see the example on this. I will open the VS Code and here I will give the div, and for the div I will give the class as box, and after that here I will give the text as your codex mitra, and next end the div tag. Save this file. Now here you can see our output. Now let's give some. Here you can see first one is our content, next one is our padding. So let's give the padding to our content. Here I will give the padding as 20 pixel. Before that, here you can see our before padding, and I will refresh this. Here you can see now it has the pad. As I told, the padding means the space around the content and inside the border. Now we will you have seen the space around the content means this, and inside the border. So here I will give the border, so you will understand the space of that padding. Here I will give the border, and I will give the border color as red. Sorry, here I will give the border color as black. Now save this and refresh. Okay, here I will give the border as 2 pixel solid, and color I will give the black. Now here you can see the border is 2 pixel thick and solid and black in color. Now let's refresh the browser. Now here you can see the, as I told, the padding means the space around the content and inside the border. Here you can see this is our content, and the space around the content means this space, and inside the border means inside this border. Now let's create another div, or else I will copy this. Now save this and refresh the browser. Here you can see this is our div 1 and div 2. As the class name is same, so it is a second box also acquiring these properties. Now if you see this two divs are touching to each other. Now we want to separate, or to give, we have to give the space to separate each element. For that we have to use the for that we have to use the margin, means the margin gives the space outside the border, separating it from each element from each other. Now here I will give the margin as 20 pixel. Here you can see. Now save this. This is our before giving the margin, and here you can see after giving the margin. The each element means the each div is separating from each other, and this space is called as margin in CSS. So if you want to see the padding in different color, so I have the one more example. I will remove this all. Okay, now here you can see I have removed all the properties and our code. Now inside this inside the body section I will create one div, and for that I will give the class name as outer, and inside this div I will create another div and give the class as wrapper, Next, inside this I will give the content as this is my content. Now I will go to the browser and refresh it. Here you can see, so only the content is displaying here. Now go to the style.css file, and here as I have given the, before that I will create another div for the content as well. So for that content I will use the class as box, and inside that I will give this my content. Okay, now here you can see, first I have the outer div, and next the inner div as wrapper class, and after that I have the another div inside this, and I have given the class name as box, and inside that box I have given the content as this is my content. Now next, now let's give the CSS properties. For first I will select the box class, means div. Next I will give the width as 100 pixel and height as 100 pixel. Now after that, first I will give the background color, so it will, you can see the content. So I will give the first red color, and I will give the body color for the body as well. So select by the element selector I will select the body, and here I will give the background color as gray. Next, now save this and refresh the browser. Here you can see our body is gray, and our content means, you can see the box which I declared here, given the class name as box for the div. Here you can see that is in red color. Now let's give the margin to this body as 0 pixel, so that first I will give the margin as 0, and here you can see after this content you have some space. Now refresh it. Here you can see after adding the margin as 0, the content is directly attached to our edge of the screen. Here you can see. Now again go to the CSS, and here I will give the, first I will give the padding for our box, means the content. I will give the padding as 20 pixel. Now save, and here you can see now the content has the padding. Next again give the border. I will give the 2 pixel solid black border. Now here you can see, now it has the border to our content. Now give the margin. Next margin I will give as 40 pixel. Now here you can see our content is directly attached to the edge of our screen, but when I applied the 40 pixel margin, then you can see our content or the whatever is the box is there, that moves the 40 pixel away from our edge. Now next I will give the properties to the next div, means this wrapper. Now I will go to the style.css. I will select the class, and here I will give the properties as background color. Here I will give the background color as green, and let's save it. Refresh. Here you can see it has the background. This is our inner class, inner div, and this is our box div, and after that we have the border, outer div as well. So first I will given the background color. Next I will give the padding. I will give the same padding as 20 pixel. Now save and refresh. Here you can see now it has the padding as well. This is our inner div that has the padding. Next after this I will give the margin. Here I will give the margin as 40 pixel. Now save this and refresh. Here you can see now it has the margin as well. Now here you can see this is the actual view of our web page. Now the outer after the box div, the outer div is the wrapper div. This has the margin of 40 pixel. Now I will here give the width as the fit content. Here you can see now it is in fit content of a CSS property. Next after this I will apply the border to the wrapper class as a 2 pixel solid, and color I will give as blue only. Now save it and refresh the browser. Here you can see now the wrapper div has the border. After this I will give the properties to our next div, that is outer div. Here you can see this is our outer div. Now select this using the dot operator. Next give the background color. Here I will give the background color as pink. Now save it and here you can see our outer div. This is our outer div. So let's give the padding. Padding I will give as 40 pixel. Now save this and refresh. Here you can see now it has the 40 pixel padding. So if you want then you can give the width as fit content. Let's save this and here you can see next after this add the border as 2 pixel solid, and color I will give as white. Next save this and refresh the browser. Now here you can see if I want to explain the each element in this, means the margin, padding, border and the cover content, then you can see this is our actual content, this is our padding, and this is our border, and this is our margin. This is how you can apply. Here I have used the different classes and I have given the each div padding, border, margin, but overall the theme is like at the center your content, after that your padding, after that the border, and last the margin. This is how it works. So this setup visual separates each layer of the box models using the background color and spacing, and that wraps up our look at the colors units and the CSS box model. I hope this helped you a lot and understand how this core concept works together. So if you like this video, then don't forget to subscribe and drop your question in the comment, and see you in the next video. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.